What it do? The season is almost here, and we are ready to get it in. Man, listen, I got two of my guys, best in the business when it comes to cover Texas high school football. Myself, Marc Henry on the Marc Sports, Hammer Media, and Creative Jones. Man, we're here to chop it up. A little preseason football talk right here in the state of Texas, man. Three of the best in the game when it comes to covering Texas high school football. I'll start with my guy from Hammer Media, Greg Hammer. Hammer, tell us a little bit about Hammer Media and what you're looking forward to this season.
Same as the previous years. I'm going to start off basically the north, right? I've been doing that for a minute. Geyer, Prosper, Ryan, Walnut Grove, just the north, I'm just excited about the season, man.
Well, listen, if you don't know who Creative Jones is by now, this is one of the best in the business, man. He did the first annual on the Marc Sports Media Day on last year. And now we're teaming up and we're going to be working together exclusively heading into the season. My guy, Devaughn Jones. Listen, tell us a little bit about the Creative Jones Group and what everything you got going on this year.
Well, Creative Jones Group is expanding more and more every year. And this year we're picking up more schools. You already know us for covering Rock Hill and areas up here in the north. So there's a lot of new coaches, and we're just trying to help those coaches, those schools, and those players be able to tell their story, their way.
Now, let's start here in the DFW. Throughout the season, we'll start to expand in the state of Texas. But the DFW is the hotbed for high school football. That's where a lot of the state champions are at. Yes. Let's start up north a little bit, the Salina Bobcats. We were at Salina for a camp this weekend.
Yes.
And they got some returning talent up there. Hammer, we'll start with you. Talk about the Bobcats a little bit and what you see coming into this year. Well,
I know for sure their freshmen and sophomores are loaded.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, 6th, 7th grade, I kind of dropped some names at you.
Absolutely.
And then now they're starting to,
bubble.
get to bubble.
Right.
And so, you that quarterback has one more year.
Right.
He's coming back. So you look like possibly a repeat. You got them linemen, so I think they're going to make another push.
Right.
So they're at 4 right now. We don't know quite if it's next year.
They got, the time is now. Shout out to my guy, Coach Grayson over there, man.
Yes,
we had a chance to see him this week.
Yes.
You stay pretty close to the Prosper Salina. What do you think about the Bobcats?
Salina is, as we all know, it's becoming a powerhouse.
Yes.
That's all it is, too.
Right.
They're a powerhouse.
Right.
Now, like Hammer said, next year, might be a little different. You got to bring your bigger boy pants to next season.
Yes.
So, but this season, they can repeat.
Absolutely.
They can absolutely repeat.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then, listen, I'll take it to the scouting realm a little bit. Logan Gutierrez is a guy in the backfield that's going to be leaned on heavy this year to get those guys to the next level,
Yes.
to a repeat.
Yes.
He's a guy that can catch it out of the backfield, a running back, nice build. He's picked up a couple of offers this spring and summer from. One of them was Lamar University down in Beaumont. So I think that's a guy that they need to know about. Now let's go to the Prosper area. Prosper's been one of those teams, and Rock Hill's been on the come up. But you got Walnut Grove. Hammer, I know that you're close to that particular.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You're close to that particular program.
Yes.
Walnut Grove is one of the upcoming programs in the DFW. In my opinion, they made a deep run. First year varsity season. Let's talk about them a little bit.
Yes, that first one was kind of a shotgun schedule.
Right.
Boom. They had a full schedule their second year.
Right.
And nobody saw it coming.
Right.
You got Lovejoy, you got Anna, you got Melissa. You got some tough teams. 2 of them already went deep in the playoffs, won one state previous year, Anna. So it's no joke.
Right.
And they came in with 11-2 record, went to the 3rd round, and their only loss was Anna in a close game.
Right.
Nobody kind of expected that.
Right.
You got a freshman quarterback at 14 years old, thrown into the fire. Nobody expected for really that to happen.
Right.
Possibly the sophomore year, groom them, get them ready. But son, it's time to go.
Right.
And you know what? My God, did he have a season?
Hayes Hackney.
Hayes Hackney. I've been knowing him, but I didn't expect. That's a tough
Right.
for anybody.
Right.
See those lights for the first time at that age.
Right.
Against that competition.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I was kind of blown away.
Absolutely.
So anyways, they have a really good running back. They got a line. They got some beef up there
Right.
to move those guys. They had some good receivers. Luke Walks, he's at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
So the defense this coming year, the front four and the linebacker. Brock, he wasn't there. He was hurt last year. The boy is going to make some noise this year. Back end, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see on the. I keep it real.
Absolutely.
I keep it real.
Absolutely.
The back end.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the bullseye's on you.
Right.
Before nobody, right?
Right.
So it's going to be tough.
Right.
It's going to be tough. But I'm there to see it.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be an interesting and fun year.
Well, they got a district championship out of that as well. Devaughn. Hayes Hackton we talked about. But there were some guys that really, really stood out. You talked about Cam Newton. Christopher Williams, the D lineman. That's
Freshman.
the anchor.
Freshman.
That's the
Nose
anchor.
guard.
He's an upcoming D lineman.
He
Devaughn,
is.
what do you think about Walnut Grove?
Man, I don't think we put enough emphasis on Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I mean, I see right now he's only a 3-star, but I'm pretty sure we can probably agree.
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
should be like a 4 or 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at
Yes.
least by the end of this season.
Yes.
It definitely will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And man, we cannot say enough about Big Cat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He did not get that nickname by
The
accident.
big cat.
Absolutely.
The big cat.
Big Cat is the Big Cat.
Yes.
But it'll be interesting because wide receivers,
It's going to be a new group.
Hayes had that group. He can lob it up. He can throw it to him.
Right.
Now we got to see, okay.
Who steps up? Which that freshman class that he was has a lot of talent. So there'll
Absolutely.
be sophomores.
Right.
So there's going to be some sprinkles of them moving up to varsity and doing some
Right.
things.
Right.
So hey, next one up, you got to fill the holes. That's all to it.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned Big Cat. I'll take it a little further. He anchored that defensive line as a freshman.
Yes, he
We're
did.
talking about a guy that can push the pocket, and he doesn't get the limelight. He may not get the sacks, but if you go and watch the film, he controls the tempo on the inside.
Yes, he does.
Powerful, strong. I mean, this is a guy that should be on college radars by the time he graduates.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think that you'll see that from him.
You will.
Now let's stay up north a little bit. You mentioned Anna. You mentioned Melissa. Prosper's in there with some of the best linemen in the country.
Oh, we know
heavily
that.
recruited.
Yes.
You know what
Heavy.
I mean? Talk about Prosper a little bit.
3 deep, man. Their line and their D line is like 3 deep.
Right.
We all know that they have it.
Right.
And then they have some skilled players. The quarterback's coming back. He's a good quarterback. They're gonna they open up against Westlake again. That's tough competition right there.
Right.
Now
do they go to Westlake or is here this time?
So it's good. No, they're gonna go. I think they played in Waco.
Okay, they meet halfway.
They meet halfway and they play there. I
Okay.
think they're doing it again this year.
Okay.
I talked to someone.
Okay.
So that's an opening.
Right.
That's a tough. That's you're gonna see where you're at.
Absolutely.
So that's down the line in that district, it's gonna be Allen. They're gonna meet up against Allen, and whoever is coming on that game right there is probably gonna win that district right there.
Right.
With Prosper.
Right.
Now with the new school here, they had to split a little bit of talent.
Yeah.
And then going further, the split with athletes.
Absolutely.
So that's going to change a little dynamics because Prosper used to be just Prosper. Now we got Rock Hill, and then we got Walnut Grove.
Right.
So the growth, right?
Right.
And everything moves with growth.
Right.
So that's that situation.
Absolutely.
They still have athletes. They're still going to have a good year.
Right.
And probably go deep.
Yeah.
So that's Prosper.
Absolutely.
Well,
you got one of the best linemen in the country, Zayden Krimpkin. He's headed to Texas A&M. You
Yes.
talk about a guy that's probably going to be a cornerstone at left tackle for Prosper.
Yes.
He's one of those guys that's been heavily recruited in the country, Michigan, Texas.
Yes.
He's anchoring that. Now he's a senior.
Yes.
So it's a win now thing for Prosper.
Yeah.
Devaughn,
Yes.
talk about that a little bit.
Prosper is O-line university.
Right.
Yes.
Let's just go ahead and call it.
Right.
That step that, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
The good thing is with the new school being Richland is not plucking that many kids from there right now.
Not the
Right.
first year.
So
Right.
Yes.
this is a win now year.
Yeah.
And they probably got 2 years in there more.
Right.
But then we might see
So some changes.
some changes and some drop offs there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, listen, man. Listen, we putting it together for you. We're gonna take a small break and we're gonna head down south, maybe a little west, talk some Texas high school football right here.
Like
Creative Jones, Hammer, and on the
nice.
Marc Sports in the building.
Yes.
All right, man, we back. Creative Jones in the building, Hammer in the building, of course, on the Marc Sports, man. 3 of the dopest in the state of Texas at what we do. But let's not leave the North so fast, man. I kind of talk about the Denton Guy Wildcats. You know what I'm saying? I think that these guys are headed to, some real success. That 2027 class, if anybody's ever talked to me, this is one of the best classes in the state. I think that Zephyr Cry is on the verge of becoming a household name nationally. Hammer, you're pretty close to this program. What do you think about the guys this year?
So the thing is that the 28, that freshman team was off the chart. Like you said, the 27, and then you got the Cobbs and you got all them in the seniors.
Yeah.
All 3 mixed, that's a bad potion right there. Okay.
Right.
So my thing is that we've been talking about it. Other people have been talking about it. No more talking. Right. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
It's time to get to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's
time to get
it's time to show up and
I don't want to, the boys are young and they're coming. No, they are here.
They're here now.
They are here.
Absolutely.
So I don't kick the dough down.
Right.
So that's what I want to say about them.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I've been around, the 2020 team with Ryan, and I've seen the defense.
Right.
And it's
This is one of those D's.
That's one.
They coming.
Yes.
Is it above that one?
Right now, I want to say they're just under, like not much. Like it's because that's a huge hill, and I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jatavian Sanders, all those guys.
I don't want to go on the record and say that, but I want to say, I've seen some of the best.
Right.
And this one right here, their defense is probably one that I've seen in a long time.
Well, definitely. They fit that. Devaughn, they fit that. You got the Zane Rhodes. You mentioned Cobbs. I think a guy in the 2028 class, Tristan Shelton, is a guy that's ready to take that next step.
Yes.
For Denton Guy as well.
Yes.
What do you think about them?
I just visited them this past spring ball.
Yeah.
Coming from up here north, from my side, those kids are not bred.
They different.
Like everybody else.
Yeah.
Hammer told me a little bit about them, but it's different.
Yeah.
I don't even have the words for it.
Yeah.
It's different.
Right.
Put that in caps, put it across the screen, everything is different.
Well, how you know it's different, I shed a little light. My guy Kyle Keese over there is a strength and conditioning coordinator, one of the coaches there. And this is bred in the weight room. This is bred in the off season. If you ever been to a Denton Guy session where they work out in the off season, you see how they build these teams from the ground. And that's, I think, that separates, the big boys from the little boys. Now, we're talking about big boys now. We got to go down south with it, man. Let's start with South Oak Cliff. Shout out to Coach Todd, Coach Ward, and those guys over there. I think that this is going to be one of their better teams. I had a chance to see some of their skill guys at 7-on-7. Shout out to my guy Ron Murray, put on his first 7-on-7 tournament. And they are loaded. They're going to always be good in the trenches. Devaughn, I'll start with you. They're going to be loaded in the trenches, but I think this is a year where some of their skill guys, especially offensively, start to take that next step.
Man, the skill guys, I thought it was going to be an issue coming 7-on-7 when they got against Crowley.
Right.
No Crowley.
Right.
And let's just say Crowley didn't want the smoke. They didn't want that smoke. We got it on film.
It was a little extracurricular activity to mix it up. Hey, you got D-Town versus the Funk. That's what you have.
But, man, them boys came to play.
Yeah.
They play up to every competition that they face.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Right.
What you thought about it.
Right. Well, I think that I saw some of these guys, you got Morton coming back from the running back position. I think they're going to have a quarterback because they went down to College Station and really showed up as well against some of the best from around the state. Yeah. But they're always going to be great in the trenches. You got Brian Swanson, 2027 offensive line, one of the top offensive linemen in the country. These guys definitely have the talent. You got Marcel Gibson, the Clemson commit on defense, is holding it down, for the secondary. But you got that coaching element. And I think, I can take this staff. This is one of my favorite coaching staffs in the country. When you talk about Coach Spencer, Coach Todd, and Coach Ward, and the guys that they have on that staff. I've seen these guys operate in the heat of the battle. They've been to 4 straight state championships, 1, 2. That's not heard of. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if it's inner city, suburbs. You can go to the country. That is not heard of with a coaching staff that's the same. And I think that they don't get the respect that they deserve as a coaching staff.
Right.
Let's forget about where they are.
Yes.
Give them respect as the coaching staff. Hammer, shed some light on that.
Well, the thing is that every year he does the same thing. His blueprint is the same. I want to go around the country and find the 3 baddest teams. And I'm playing the 3 baddest off first.
North Shore.
Look,
Longview.
And I don't care if I lose.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't care if we're going into the 4th game and we don't have a win.
Right.
That doesn't matter.
Right.
Because it's not the beginning, it's how they end.
Right.
And he's done it every year.
Right.
So that blueprint is undeniable.
Absolutely. And it's the reason that they're successful, and I've heard Coach Todd say this and Coach Ward and those guys say this. They're not worried, like you mentioned, not worried about wins or losses. They're trying to see the barometer of where they are as a team.
Yes.
And then they use it, the district as a second season. And then when they get to the playoffs, it's rolling downhill like an 18th wheeler. You know what I mean? It is. And it's one of those things where it's masterful football at its best. Yes. And it's high level football and it's high level coach football. And that's why I think Saco Cliff will be back at Jerry World again.
So real quick on that, coming off of that right there. So I want you guys to pay attention to this. I did play in Wichita Falls at Hershey High my freshman year.
Right.
Now they consolidated.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
You took Ojai, Ryder, and Hershey.
Right.
Now you're down to 2 schools. Memorial, which second year went 9-2, played Argyle first round, went to a minute, and almost beat them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
That's their second year.
Right.
Don't forget about Wichita Falls because they got some athletes up there.
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying that's coming out of that that area.
Yeah.
Coming this year.
Right.
The quarterbacks coming back. They all coming back.
Right.
So I'm just letting you know we ain't talking about them right because they way up there.
Yeah.
Them jackrabbits up there in that hot sun.
Right. Wait, well, this is the first episode. We're going to make our way around Texas, man. We're on the south side of things right now with D-Town. You know what I'm saying? But listen, hey, this is what you're going to get on a weekly basis when you get these guys together, the wealth of knowledge of Texas high school football. But let's talk about DeSoto.
Yes.
They had a couple of runs in state title. They had some young guys that, they lose Tiger to Texas A&M. Big Byron's gone to Syracuse. Shout out to my guy Booby Feaster, the USC commit.
USC.
2026
Trojans.
One of the top players in the country. Is this the year they get back on track? I'll start with you, Devaughn.
Yes.
Okay.
It's DeSoto.
Right.
It's DeSoto U.
Right.
It's that for a reason.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. That's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say.
I don't have much to say.
Absolutely. Well, shout out to Coach Claude Mathis, one of the best in the game, a Hall of Fame coach in my opinion. He's got a very good team. Hammer, shed some light on what you think.
So the same thing. I agree.
Yeah.
I got to see the quarterback. I think it's all about quarterback play.
Okay.
They got everything.
Yeah.
They got the receivers and
Right.
everything.
Right.
We knew DJ.
Yeah.
DJ was the guy. I'm still like this about the guy. I love DJ. So he was a quarterback for
Yeah.
So I think for DeSoto, it's the play of the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Which I saw him. He's a good quarterback.
Absolutely.
So basically, that right there. And I got to see him on 7-on-7. So,
Absolutely.
no, they look good.
Well, listen, I'll take it a step further. Legend Howell's a 2026 quarterback that I think could be the district player of the year in that district if the team does well. And you're hearing it here first. I've been saying that, shout out to everybody that, we kind of talk to in these backroom barbershop conversations. But I think he's one of the better guys that maybe people are not talking about in the district of Doom. Of course, you got Waxahachie, you have Duncanville.
Yes.
You also have Lancaster in there as well.
Yes.
This is the district of Doom for a reason. And
yes.
Speaking of Waxahachie, shout out to my guy Texas commit Cohen Brown and Jeremiah III. There's some talent there. Coach Tolley has these guys ready to go. Hammer, you shaking your head. I know that's one of your games.
Yes. Well, Tolley, he was a defense coordinator in 2020 when Ryan, won state. So
Absolutely.
I connected with him, and we
Right.
still connected.
Right.
He's coming in the second game against Coppell.
Right.
Carter's starting.
Yeah.
He's going to be starting as a sophomore at Coppell.
Yes.
Yes.
Spiegelman. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's going to be a good test right there.
Right.
And then the 19th, Duncanville comes into Waxahachie. So, and that's on our end over here is like we don't have games going on.
Right.
So I might sneak over down there
Right.
just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
catch Duncanville coming in.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Let's
feel
see
that
that-
atmosphere.
see that
'cause
war chant?
I want to feel that.
You want to feel it.
I want to feel it. So
Yeah.
that's 2 games I might be.
Who going?
Well, you know what? I'm looking for a good game. I'm looking for a good game.
Hey, he backed out of that one real quick.
Hey. All I got to say is that, you know, they've been knocking on the door for a minute,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
hey, it might be the time that they knock it down. So
well, I'll say this real quick before we move on to the next team. I went to the Duncanville Waxahachie game last year. That was the first year that Jerry Meyer III, the quarterback that's there now, had a chance to quarterback this team.
Yes.
I wanted to see how Waxahachie was in a hostile environment on the road,
Right.
and that told me or would tell me if they were ready to take that next step to beat state champs.
Yes.
Well, Duncanville humbled them a little bit.
Okay.
So now they get them on their turf. So we're going to see if the script gets flipped this time. But you can best believe Coach Tyler's got something up his sleeve.
Hey, man. Yeah. I mean, he's a well-known coach. People love him, and they'll do anything for him. He's that type of guy.
Absolutely.
So, you know.
Yeah, shout out to my guy, Coach Shane Tyler, man. This is Tolleson, man. That's my guy. Always shows me love when I go down to Waxahachie. Now, we can't talk about the south side of town without Duncanville. The Panthers are there, but listen, they're going to be replacing an All-American, Elite 11, Gatorade Player of the Year, in Keelan Russell.
Yes.
The quarterback position at a premium has been one of those positions over at Duncanville that's led them to success.
Yes.
But I think their defense is probably one of the best defenses in the country. KJ Ford, Braylon Edwards, and those guys.
Don't tell me that.
I'm telling you, they coming. They eat. That's the reason they lock the gates on that side of town.
When you say one of the best, I'm like, dude, I done seen them like last 7 years. They had a pretty good defense.
They don't rebuild, they reload.
Yes.
Duncanville, tell me what you think, Devaughn. This is your area, right?
I graduated from Duncanville, so I'll be a little biased.
Right.
But from what I've seen, it's going to be extremely hard to replace.
Keelan Russell.
Yes.
That production. The Corey Moore. That production.
So, they don't get back there.
Okay.
They don't. I was just going to keep it.
Hey, man.
I'm going to be the bad guy.
No.
Hey, chat. I'm sorry.
That's how.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Hey.
It's looking tough.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate. I like my guy Maximus Denson, 2027 quarterback. He's been a guy that's competing for the quarterback job. He had a small injury and he's coming back. He's got the athletic ability, he just doesn't have the experience. I think this is the year that he takes that and goes to the next. Now, I'm not saying they go to state, but I think that Maximus.
How far?
Well, they're a playoff team for sure.
How far?
I don't know how far they go. I said they go at least 3 rounds for sure. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're state championship level, but their defense is going to carry them to the quarterback position.
Defense wins championships.
Absolutely. And this is the bread and butter of what Coach Reginald Samples has been building over there.
Right.
Let's lock the gates for a reason, man.
Yeah.
And this is why these guys are in that district of doom. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we're going to end it up. We're going to talk about the west side of things. Funky Town here in just a second. Creative Jones, Hammer on the Marc Sports. We'll be right back. All right back at you, man. We're going to go to the west side of things. Funky Town. Listen, it's always been about the Aledo Bearcats out in that part of the country, or let's say about that part of the state.
Yes.
Multiple state titles. They kind of fell on hard times this year. When I say hard times, they didn't make it to the state title. The Aledo Bearcats are coming back. If you look at some of the publications around the state of Texas, they're either 1 or 2 in some of those.
Yes.
They are on the verge of getting some young guys that come in. They got one of the top receivers in the country. Shout out to my guy, Caden Finley, just committed to Notre Dame. What do you think about the Bearcats as they come in?
Well, I mean, like you said, like 12, 13 state championships, before they used to get on the field was intimidation. I think there's a little drop.
Right.
I think the quarterback is not there. Some of the running backs, it's just a little different. They always had beef up front, big boys and stuff like that. So honestly, I don't know. We're going to see Denton Geyer goes in to Aledo first game. I'm going to be covering that one. Okay. So, that's a good one to start off with, see where we're at and where they're at. But You asked the question. I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Politically correct, huh?
I'm just saying that we gonna see. You know, but I know Finley, the receiver, he's been like playing since he was a freshman.
Right.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he can take it at any time, and I've been seeing him do it. So
absolutely.
So that's mine.
You mentioned trench play, and you can't look any further than Tommy Meeks, one of the best defensive linemen, interior guys, state of Texas class of 2027. And you got Peyton Williams. You know, his brothers both played there, have gone on to the next level. So they're always going to be physical in there. Of course, you got shout out to my guy Lamel Swanson. He just committed to Army. And you got two guys in the secondary, last name Hall. They're going to be great.
Yes.
It just depends on how the luck of the playoffs draw. They're going to get through district probably unscathed, and we'll see what happens that first game.
Right.
Give me your thoughts on the Bearcats real quick.
I'm pleading the fifth. I'm pleading the fifth.
Absolutely.
I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay.
I don't
you want to see him? You want to see him first?
I don't want to see. I don't want to.
So we talking about the other team out of Funky Town now?
Yeah, let's go there. We're talking about the North Crowley Panthers state champions. Shout out to my guy, Coach Gates, and those guys who captured that state title last year, undefeated. Listen, Coach Gates has a resume. He has not lost a regular season game the 3 seasons that he's been there. He's only lost 2 games, and they were both in the playoffs.
Prosper was one of them.
And Duncanville.
Yes.
They avenged that last year.
They
and made
did.
it all the way.
They did.
They're going to be replacing some pieces in certain places, but I think they're going to have one of the best secondaries in the state. You got Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Very long, lean.
Athletic guy.
Yes.
You got Thomas Cook, Aaron Bradshaw, and those guys. On the offensive side, you're going to have one of the best backs in the 2027 class in Keontae Ingram. This is the JT Torres show. You happen to chance to see him at the Ron Murray 7-on-7. Talk about North Crowley and what you saw.
Man, when I say on your head at every chance that he got, it was on your head. There was no stopping them. They lined up. They knew to play. They would tell them to play, and it was still whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
I'm going to let the clips speak for itself.
Absolutely. I mean, you got one of the best in the country in Demarion Mays. You got my guy Hayden Green, who's starting to bubble. That's a 1-2 punch. And then you got Big Jeremy at tight end. This is a very, very good team, and Coach Gates is going to have these guys ready to play. You know, I'm looking at their first 4 games. You got Lancaster, DeSoto, you got Geyer, and you got Rockwall. They come out of this, it's going to be pointing back towards another undefeated season. And that's what I'm looking for coming out on the west side of things. You know what I mean? You know, they had the city of Fort Worth really embracing them. And, you know, everything over there was 817 with those guys.
Yes.
And that's what I love about this particular team. This is one of my other favorite coaching staffs when you talk about continuity and things that they work together. Now, they lose my guy, shout out to Hutto head coach Eli Reinhardt on the offensive side of things. But I think that you see the head that, you know, the crown that wears the head in, you know, Coach Gates, he's the foundational piece that went over there and changed the culture. And the 817 is going to have something to say about that if you look at it. Go ahead, Ham.
Well, I mean, you just said change the culture in a short period of time.
3 years. This is their 4th season.
So when you go in and you do that, and the other thing is when you have that amount of talent and to control all those egos and all those stars and keep them grounded and go undefeated is a huge feat.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it's the head of the snake that controls everything.
Right.
You can have all those dogs, but if you don't know how to handle that, let's say Texas A&M, when they had all them 5 stars.
Right.
Am I saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It was the head man.
Right.
And like you said, North Crowley's, he knows how to handle them.
Well, listen, they got somebody up front in Texas commit John Turntine III, one of the best in the country. He's back to anchor that offensive line. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I don't think that you can deny that the Panthers are going to be a deep playoff team and possibly looking at Jerry World for a 2nd straight year.
Yes.
He doesn't like that.
No, I don't. But hey, you're speaking the truth, though.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at it, man, Texas is loaded. We started with the DFW, man. This is the first episode of this. Of course, Hammer Media, myself, owner Marc Sports, and Creative Jones. We're going to be bringing this to you. And listen, guys, you get 3 of the best in the game when it comes to Texas high school football coverage. Man, hit us up. You know, you can get this flavor each week. We're going to be talking about that, man. We're going to move to Houston, Austin, San Antonio, West Texas, all over in East Texas. You can't do nothing else without talking about high school football in East Texas with Longview, Carthage, Tyler. You know, this is where it's at, Texas high school football at its best. We'll be back at you, man. Tune in and tap in. I am your host, Marc Henry. We out.